Today is Saturday, the 20th of October, 2018. I'm Keith War, and welcome to another episode of Homeless in Titusville. And today I'm being joined by, what's your name, ma'am?
Michelle.
Michelle
Benford.
Benford. And your name, sir?
Omar Sims.
Omar Sims. And Omar, I've spoken to you before.
Yeah.
It's been a while though, and you talked about your girlfriend at the time, but I didn't get to meet her.
Yeah, you're right.
So this is the girlfriend that you were talking about.
You're right.
Okay. So I saw you guys on the street, and you guys are still out here, and it's been a while. So what's been going on since I saw you on the street last?
Nothing, same old thing. Just trying to maintain, I guess.
Hey, did you get a job? Did you get any help?
No, still ain't got a job.
Have you been looking for work?
Yeah, I've been looking for work, but around. Cause I stay around 50 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of restaurant people, I guess they would really accept my application.
Do you prefer to do restaurant kind of work, or like is that what you know how to do?
I mean, I know how to do it, and I take any kind of job.
Anything, right?
Anything. What you call it? I did a couple years in restaurant business, and I know how to do it. So, and then basically around that way. So that's what I would try to do.
Right. And how about you? What's your work situation? Are you on disability? Do you work, or what's your story?
I get a disability check.
You do?
Yes.
You do. And how long have you been drawing Social Security disability?
Since 2007.
Okay. And for what kind of stuff, if you don't mind me asking, like what's your health like?
I have no balance, and I can't walk without crutches. I fall a lot. I injure myself a lot because of the crutches.
How many years have you been on crutches now?
Since 2007.
Oh, wow. And have you had any tests done for this? Like, what are they saying is the cause?
They have no reason. I've had plenty of physical therapies. I've had spinal taps, MRIs, labs. I've had the shock ones.
The EMGs?
Yeah. I had that done. I've had everything done, and everything comes back okay. The only thing I didn't come back was MRI on the back, but that's an old injury where one of the lumbars is separated from the spine.
Okay. So how long have you guys been together?
Right at 20 years.
20 years. Wow, it's a very long time. So what's been going on recently? You were telling me something about Omar's health. We were talking before. What's going on with him?
The end of about 16, 17.
The end of October?
Yeah, no, the end of September.
End of September.
Yeah. The ambulance was called, and he had to go to Parish. And when he was in the ER, they did
emergency.
What was that test they did on you? It did a test on him. Anyway, it came back. They seen air in his stomach.
Okay.
So they knew they had to get him to emergency surgery right away.
Okay.
So they were trying to get him upstairs, and his heart rate went up over 200 in the ER. And at that time when that happened, his ulcer in his stomach erupted, which left a hole in his stomach.
Did he have appendicitis? Did he have his appendix out? Did he have his gallbladder?
No, it was he had an ulcer.
An ulcer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it erupted in his stomach.
Wow.
And it made a hole in his stomach. And so they got him right up to the emergency surgery, where they cut him open, and they had to sew the hole in his stomach back up.
Right.
And then they had to try and get all the infection out. Because ulcers, when they grow...
Right, because all that stomach acid went everywhere.
Goes everywhere.
In his stomach.
So then he went into ICU for a couple days. Then after ICU, he went on to the main floor. While he was on the main floor, he was on a lot of antibiotics and stuff like that, breathing treatments. They found that he had fluid in his right lung, where they had to take a needle and they had to draw out his fluid out the lung. And then they found out he had pneumonia in it. Then his liver was swelled, and that was due to he had pockets of the infection from the ulcer that they did not remove because they couldn't get it all.
So it's not from drinking. The liver, it doesn't drink.
No. and the pockets of infection were sitting right under the liver, which was irritating the liver and causing the little swelling on it. So they changed his antibiotics up in the hospital and stuff like that, and that went away. They got that one out. But they released him on Sunday.
Well, where did you stay when he was admitted in the hospital? Did you stay in the room next to him?
I stayed at a hotel for a couple nights.
For just a couple of nights?
For about 4 nights.
And who paid for that?
I did, because I got my check.
Okay.
Then I went up to the hospital where we got permission from security and the doctors and nurses, and I stayed in the room with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is reasonable.
Right.
You know. When did he get out of the hospital?
This past Sunday.
So 6 days ago. Now, when you were at the hospital, did you guys explain that you guys were homeless? Did they get a social worker to talk to you?
Yes, we have a social worker.
You do? And how come the social worker didn't get him into some kind of transitional,
well, one was because they say they don't have the funding right now. 2 was because originally we lived in Ormond Beach, so our IDs say Ormond Beach. It doesn't have Brevard County, it has Volusia County. So we can't really get no help around here as far as getting a room or something to get off the streets for a little while, let him heal, because we're not Brevard County residents. Even though we're homeless on the streets here, and we've been here for about
over a year. Yeah. You guys been here over a year.
Right. But we don't have ID that shows that we were from Brevard County.
But really, should that matter? Should that matter? You're Americans, right?
Yeah.
You're both Americans.
Yeah.
That shouldn't matter. These imaginary lines on a map shouldn't matter. You're Americans. You should, I mean, what's next? They say, oh, you don't qualify, because you don't live in this city. What are they going to say next? Oh, you don't live on, Park Street, so you're not eligible.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like BS. And if you're homeless, how do you get ID? If you're right, and because they're going to ask you for an address.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this whole thing is ridiculous. It sounds like any way they can to disqualify you so that they don't have to help you. They work very hard at disqualifying people, because I hear this stuff from people over and over and over. And because you're on antibiotics, and I'm sure they told you to take it easy, and do you still have an open wound on his stomach?
Yes, he does. He's got a big hole right here.
Well, it's closing out. It's small.
But when we left the hospital, they gave me all the stuff to
clean it, change the bandages,
and I got to pack it with the packing. And then I got to put a gauze, and then I've got to put thing. But the problem is, it's so hot out here that
you don't have a clean
and by him sweating, the bandage is constantly coming off. And then when the bandage comes off and pulls off, then the packing comes out of his stomach. So then I have to find somewhere where it's clean, kind of clean, where there's no bugs and stuff, so I can spray it down, clean it, repack it, and bandage it up again in order for it to heal. The second day he was out, he was having trouble breathing. He couldn't breathe. He actually stopped breathing in the middle of the night, and then was gasping for air to try and breathe again. And so I wanted to bring him back to the ER. And then I wanted them to check, because the bandage kept coming off and sweat kept going in. I was trying to keep it clean and stuff, but I wanted to make sure there was no infection building up in it from bacteria.
So what did they say when you came back in?
They gave him breathing treatments while he was there, and they gave him an inhaler, and they gave him anti-inflammatory.
And how did you guys afford to pay for these medications?
We still had the prescription.
Oh, you still have them, so they haven't been able to be filled because you don't have the money, because he doesn't have any health insurance at all.
Right, he has no health insurance.
No Medicaid. How about some other funding? Do you guys receive any food stamps or any welfare? You guys get nothing.
I was getting food stamps, and my food stamps got canceled in June.
And the reason for that was?
I had no way to reapply.
Right, because they want an address, and then they're going to send you mail and stuff. I mean, aren't you worried about losing your Social Security? Because, Social Security sends you little forms every once in a while.
That goes to my original address, which my stepdad lives there, even though me and him don't like each other. And
it's okay to send that.
It's okay to send that kind of mail. He'll call me and let me know when it gets there.
Okay.
He does keep that kind of mail for me. Any other type of mail goes in the trash or goes back to the post office. But Social Security mail he keeps for me because he knows I gotta live.
So you guys have family, and his family knows that he's homeless on the street, and your family knows that you're homeless on the street?
Well, the only family I have
it's my family.
It's his family because my mom passed away at Easter.
Okay.
So that's all I had was my mom and my stepdad, which me and him don't get along like that. So all I have is his family, which is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, so that's a little bit of a trip.
Right.
Yeah.
So what brought you down to Titusville in the first place? I mean, why come here?
Last year when the hurricane hit, our house got flooded out and stuff. So we, the FEMA put us in a hotel, and this was the only hotel that was available at that time. That was not over in Panama City, Pensacola, somewhere on the other side of 10 and stuff.
Right.
This was the closest one. Daytona was booked. Everybody was booked. Palm Coast and stuff. So we came here. We stayed in the hotel until February, wasn't it? February.
So that's when the FEMA money was shut off, was in February?
Right. And we winded up staying here.
So really, you came here because of the hurricane. This is where FEMA put you. It's not really any fault of your own that you're here in Titusville, and now you're ineligible for this help because you live in Titusville, not Ormond Beach or wherever the imaginary line is on a map. All these disqualifiers, all these things are using these reasons for not helping you guys. It sounds horrible. Like it's just a one big, mess after another, and it seems like it's just created by the state or the federal government or somebody in the first place that it's not your fault. So your place got flooded out. You lost all your stuff. You had a car.
We had a car here, and we took a trip to New Smyrna Beach one day, and we got T-boned, totaled out the whole passenger side of the car. And the back tire.
We lost the car.
Back tire, you can't keep a regular tire on it. You keep blowing.
We in Titusville. Got in a car accident. So came to Titusville. So the car was not drivable. So we had to get a car back. So we lost the car. No car. No tram station. And basically we just got stuck down in Titusville.
So, what are your plans now? Do you want to stay in Titusville? Do you want to? What do you want to do? What's the plan?
Well, we want to leave. We want to leave Titusville, because we're getting tired of harassed from the police for no reason. People calling the police on us for no reason. We don't do nothing. We sit around, try to get out the heat. If somebody come out and give us something, somebody called the police because somebody gave us something. And we're getting tired of it,
So when's the last time you guys were harassed by the police?
The other night.
Harassed by the police the other night.
Yep. So 1 night ago, 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago.
3 nights ago with Bob.
Okay. And what did they want? Did they run your ID? Like what did they say? Because they have to have probable cause to stop you. So what did they say you were doing? What was your?
They never said.
They never said.
They never said.
So they just
pulled up and say,
"Show me your ID."
What are y'all doing out here?
Okay.
What are y'all doing?
And you said existing as human beings.
We had just pulled up.
Yeah.
We were with a friend. We just pulled up because we were going to get ice for my hand because my hand got slammed in the car door.
Right.
So they were trying to get some ice put on my hand. And when they walked up, they said, "What are you doing here?" We just pulled up before you walked up.
So I don't want you guys to give any specific locations of where you're at, but the place where you're at, did you guys have permission from the property owner to be where you were? Like at the place where they stopped you or the police rolled up on you, did you have permission to be there, or was it a public place?
It's a public place.
Okay.
Yeah, get ice.
Yeah, public place.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
They gave me ice for my hand because I got slammed in the door.
Okay. So then they what did they do to you? Did they write you a ticket? Did they arrest you?
They ain't do nothing. They just talked.
Did they run your names?
No, they didn't run the name. They just talked to us.
And they said
told us to leave. They told us we had to go.
Okay, and so you left and you went somewhere else. And how often have the police stopped you guys basically for no reason? Like, would you say this happens on a weekly basis, a monthly? Has this?
Probably, shit, lately it's been every 2 weeks. Well, I've been in the hospital, so I don't really know.
I haven't been out
We
there.
ain't been out here because we've been in the hospital.
So before you were in the hospital, did they stop you a lot or
whenever
harass
somebody,
you a lot?
It was basically whenever
a
somebody
company would call or somebody would call them.
Yeah.
And what were you doing that they'd call the police? Like
Nothing.
Nothing.
So you weren't like dancing naked in the streets or nothing?
No.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, no.
I'm just trying to come up with some kind of a reason. Like, why would somebody, do this?
Because people see somebody giving somebody something.
See somebody
they want to call the police thinking that they don't know the whole situation first off. So they
but
think
even if you did ask,
they
this is
think
America,
one of us might have asked somebody, "Can you help us?"
Yeah.
But a lot of times we don't even ask nobody. They just come up to us and hand us something, or they come up to us and give,
You know it's not illegal to ask somebody for help, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so that seems kind of weak.
I mean, if you need an ambulance and you're hurt and you can't get to a phone, you're going to ask somebody that goes by, "Can you call an ambulance for me?"
Absolutely.
You're talking to somebody asking them for something.
Right.
Or you're going to lay there and die.
Yeah. So how about applying for any kind of housing or anything, because you do draw Social Security? Are you guys legally married?
No.
No, not
you're
yet.
not legally married. Okay. But you do draw Social Security. So have you ever filled out any of the forms to get any kind of housing or anything?
I did in Volusia County.
You did?
Yeah.
And how long did it take, or how long ago was that? What was their answer?
That was in 2004. It took about 1 year.
I mean, that was 14 years ago. Have you done anything recently?
I mean, 2014. I'm sorry.
14. Okay.
2014. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Where's my years? It took a year and a half. Yeah. To get
and how about now? How about applying now for something?
In order to do it here in Brevard County, I have to get Brevard County ID.
Which you're going to have to find an address.
Right. Because housing is for Brevard, housing authority and stuff is for Brevard County residents.
Right, and if you don't live beyond that imaginary line, by God, they'll disqualify you. So, wow. So have any organizations helped you guys out? Have Salvation Army? Is there a local church here that helps you out? Do you know a guy named George Taylor? Has his organization helped you guys out?
We know John and we know Ken.
Okay, and they're from the NVHS, George Taylor's group. They bring you food. You guys food like on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Like a hot meal and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much?
And they have dog food and dog treats and stuff like that.
Because you guys have a little dog that you had. You said you had it for about 9 years.
Yeah.
You had the dog.
We adopted it in California.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about going out? Moving back to California, is that an option? Do you guys have family and friends there?
No,
we
got
no family and friends up there, but we have advantages up there.
Yeah, we got a lot of resources. Her mom, her mom old jobs, they help us out. It's a living disability
assisted living place.
Center.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. They all know us, and they all said if we come back, they will help us with the first month deposit when we find a place and stuff like that. Make sure we get in somewhere. My mom was an occupational therapist there.
So you guys just need a Greyhound ticket or something? Is that the only thing stopping you from leaving?
We need a Greyhound ticket, we also need a doggy carrying bag for
some kind of a carrier that he can go in so that he can ride on the Greyhound.
One of the little carrier ones. He's
a tiny little dog. What does he weigh? About 18
pounds. No, he weighs about.
He's small though.
He's fat though. He's like a medium-sized dog carrier.
Yeah, he's only maybe a foot and a half long by maybe.
He weighs about 14 to 16 pounds.
He's like a large cat. I would say he's like a really large cat.
Tomboy cat.
Right. So he it's not like he's some big Rottweiler or Doberman or something crazy.
He's like a medium dog carrier. Medium size.
So you guys are on the street here. You don't walk very well. You have to use crutches, and now he's got this health problem. So how are you guys eating? What are you guys eating?
Whatever.
How do you guys cook?
We don't cook.
Okay, so what about staying clean? Where do you guys go to take showers? How do you wash clothes?
Well, basically, that's what I do every month. I buy clothes
You know, basically.
When they get dirty or something, I just basically have to toss them because we don't have no way to do laundry.
So you wear them as long as you absolutely possibly can,
and then
until they just smell or whatever.
Right.
And then what? You walk into a Walmart and you buy new clothes, or you buy go to a thrift store?
When I get my check.
Thrift store?
Now see, we ain't got no transportation to get around. Most of every thrift stores and stuff is on that side of town.
Right.
You know, it's hard to go.
So I go to
shopping.
Walmart.
It's hard to go over that way.
I find stuff for him and find stuff for me.
Yeah.
And I just buy it when I get my check, and then I buy the dog what he needs and stuff. And then I put us up in a hotel for as long as I can till money runs out.
And how long can you usually stay in a hotel with that money?
About 4 days.
4 or 5.
4
or 5 days.
4 or 5 days and buy some clothes. So you're spending the other 20 some days.
And then I have a phone bill because we have to have a phone keeper
right,
medical conditions.
Right, you have with your health, you have to have a phone. I would imagine you probably got the cheapest plan possible.
We had 2 phones, but now we're down to 1 because
the money.
Because of the money situation. We can only pay the 1 bill.
And you got
right now we're always together too because of the situation.
Feeding 2 people, a meal for 2 people.
Yeah.
You know, you got to add that up for 4 days.
And now we're trying to come up on food so we can eat like 3 times a day because he takes 2 antibiotics in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 2 at night, and then he's got the other medication that we just haven't been able to afford.
Right. Wow. Oh, so horrible. All right. Well, listen, I suggest that you guys join a Facebook page called Homeless in Titusville. And I suggest to those of you who are watching this video for you to join the Facebook page Homeless in Titusville. If you would like to help these guys out, if you know of some more resources or someone here in town that can help these guys out, you guys can connect with them directly on the Homeless in Titusville Facebook page, which I would think would be great. Unless you guys want me to, act as a middleman, unless you guys do, or the person watching does. But otherwise, like I said, you guys, there's nothing stopping you from reaching out to them directly. So, is there anything else that you think that the viewers should know about your situation, or is there anything we haven't talked about that you'd like to talk about?
No, that's pretty much.
No, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys doing the interview. And like I said, those of you who are watching the video, you guys can send me a message. You guys could find me on Facebook at KEITHWOHR. You guys can friend me. That's my personal Facebook page. You guys can send me a private message. Also the messages on YouTube, I do check those. I do have to approve them before they get published, so if you're wondering what happened to your message, I did get it. But anyway, I think that pretty much sums up, and we thank these guys for taking a few minutes to do the interview and let us know what things are like living on the streets here in Titusville. These are our fellow human beings. They may not be residents or citizens of Titusville, but they're Americans, right? And we should be helping our fellow man here. So but anyway, until next time, I thank you guys for watching.